When Adventure Time first came out, it was something that no one had ever seen before. It had a new and interesting concept, which is mostly the reason why it became so popular. There are a few people who saw how popular it was and decided to make some money off of a similar concept. And I found one that's quite interesting. It's a Chinese web series which centers around two characters, Lucky and Pi, hence the name The Legend of Lucky Pi. Lucky is a horse who can shapeshift between this and this, inspired by Jake, and Pi is whatever that thing is. I started to watch the first episode, then I got hooked on it, and the first 2 episodes are in Chinese, but there's English subtitles, and there's 4 episodes out as I'm making this video, and the 3rd and 4th episode are dubbed in English, and it's really interesting to see the inspiration taken from Adventure Time. So here's a quick rundown of the first episode. So the first thing you hear is the intro, and I was actually quite surprised as to how relaxing it is, and it actually really reminds me of the song that plays at the end of Adventure Time, if you remember that, and I think it really suits the series, surprisingly, so yeah, it's really interesting. So you get to see the episode card, and the art actually looks really cool, and it's a lot better than the actual show, obviously, because like they have to animate everything really quickly, but I just wanted to point that out because it looks really cool. So the episode starts out when they're just on the beach, just hanging out, and there's something a bit weird, like the outlines of the characters and everything is just a little bit clear, like they had the line opacity turned down a little bit, and I'm not sure if they fix it in the later episodes or not, but I don't really remember, but anyway, it's still really cool though, just to see how much work they put into animating it. So then they come across a sea princess, and you can sort of start to see the inspiration that they've took from Adventure Time, but Adventure Time hasn't really done anything with people living under the sea as far as I know. I don't really know, I haven't seen that much of it, but it's really interesting just to see the inspiration that they've taken. They swim for a bit, and the animation looks pretty fresh despite the whole line thing, and then there's this giant eel thing that scares everyone, and they have to fight it, and it ends up eating Pi's sword right in the first episode, so he loses it really early on, and I think that's a hint that he's gonna get a new one in a later episode. I'm not sure, but if anything, I'm kind of glad that he loses it, because I'm not really a big fan of the design of his sword, so if he gets a new one, that's going to be pretty cool. I wonder what it's going to look like. There's this really neat reference to an old game called Snake, and Lucky says that they should defeat the monster by getting it to eat its tail, just like you do in the game Snake, and yeah, it's a really neat reference, I really like it. He manages to do this by luring the monster with these pretzels, and it's a really cool way to actually get rid of him, actually. The princess ends up getting taken back to the ocean because she was lost, and that happens when 2 guards show up, and that pretty much ends off the episode. This series is actually really interesting to see because I like things that are sort of underground and not really that mainstream, and I know I sound like a hipster saying that, but I kind of like it, you know, when there's something that not that many people know about, and it's just really cool to see stuff that isn't really made by really talented people that have been working on animations for their entire life, and they've really studied it for a long time, because I don't know why I really like stuff like that. It's just, you know, the way that I like things, I guess. But yeah, you can go watch this series. It's up here on YouTube. You can watch it for free. There's 4 episodes out right now, and the 4th one is actually really interesting. I just watched it just yesterday, and I really like it, and I really hope that this series can like turn out to be something that's really interesting, a bit more different to Adventure Time, so that it can sort of be known as its own thing, because that would be really nice actually, just to see something like that people don't really see it as a rip-off of Adventure Time. They see it as its own show, and something that's like really original and made by people who have more of their sort of own ideas, and I think that's what this is starting to become. But another thing I hope will happen is that like there's more of an overarching story like they do in Adventure Time, like the episodes aren't just a new random thing each episode, because that's what I really like about Adventure Time, and I really hope that this show sort of influenced that as well. Anyway, if you like videos like this where it's sort of laid back and I can just sort of talk off script about something that I really like, then let me know in the comments, because I really like doing them and I want to make some more of them other than just the normal podcast things that we upload on this channel. So yeah, that would be really interesting. I want to do more of these now that I know that I really like doing them. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you later.